Hey everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we're continuing our college football stadium tours. This is going to be the Sun Belt college football stadium. I don't know where the Sun Belt is, but anyway, let's jump into this one.
The Sun Belt isn't one of the bigger conferences, and thus, the stadiums aren't huge. But there are some interesting ones in this conference, that's
Where is
for
the
sure.
Sun Belt?
So with that being said, here are the Sun Belt college football stadiums.
Okay.
Starting off with Alan E. Paulson Stadium.
Oh,
home of
Georgia.
the Georgia
Okay.
Southern Eagles.
25,000, all right.
They call it the prettiest little stadium in America. A much more inviting nickname than Death Valley that a couple of other teams call their stadium. It definitely has some competition though. Not just in America, but this conference as well. But it's quite pretty. There's plenty of greenery. Every corner of the stadium has a grass berm. It has that sunken field design where the stands are built into the earth that a lot of smaller stadiums
25,000 is
have.
still a big
And
stadium.
I like it. Prettiest little stadium in America? Well, it's one of many, let's just say that. Brooks Stadium, home to the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I can tell by the logo that a Chanticleer is some sort of chicken, but it does sound like a toddler mispronouncing Santa Claus. There is something odd about this stadium, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh yes, it is.
I thought you couldn't have blue grass because of
look how close it is to the road. Very strange.
Wow, that's very close to the road.
It's quite normal. No, joking aside, teal is a nice colour.
Oh,
and
teal.
hats off to them.
Yeah, I guess
I've got no idea how they've got the grass to grow teal instead of green.
Yeah.
That's a nice ballpark they've got as well.
Oh.
I see they've
I was
grown
gonna say,
regular
that's not a
grass
football
over
stadium.
there. Cajun Field, home of the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Which, if you get rid of the S at the end, definitely sounds like the name of a spicy chicken sandwich. This field is even further sunken into the ground than the first one.
Really is sunken,
and it's actually below sea level. So, as you'd expect, the drainage has to be on point. Otherwise, its nickname, the Swamp, would become reality.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a fairly straightforward design. As always, I'm a fan of the grassy hill at one end. Also, given that it's Cajun Field, home of the Raging Cajuns, I'd assume that the food scene is pretty darn good. Centennial Bank Stadium, home to the Arkansas State Red Wolves.
Okay. It's
basically just a bigger version of Alan E. Paulson Stadium, but there are some slight differences. For starters, it's a little bigger. Double-decker stands on each side.
I like the field. Wow, that really stands
red
out.
Seats.
That red.
Oh, and these pictures are a little out of date. This section has been upgraded and had luxury suites and all that sort of stuff added.
Wow. Okay. That's
the
really
exterior is just bare concrete for the most part. And overall,
Tables and
the
chairs.
stadium's not bad. Just nothing out of the ordinary. Something that definitely doesn't describe Center Park Stadium, home to the Georgia State Panthers.
Wow.
Since its inception in 1996 as the host of the Atlanta Olympics, this stadium has gone through some drastic changes. It was designed to convert from the Olympic configuration into a baseball stadium, Turner Field. The Braves eventually moved out into the suburbs for some questionable reasons, and then Georgia State moved in and transformed it into this Frankenstein's monster of a stadium.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Having said that, I kind of like it. But there is a difference between looking at a stadium and visiting a stadium every other week.
Yeah.
I should also mention that there's a decent view of the Atlanta skyline. Hancock Whitney Stadium, home to the South Alabama Jaguars.
Alabama, 25,000.
A brand new stadium. In fact, it was the only on-campus
it's still
stadium
getting
to open in 2020. It is fairly unique in college football, given that one end is made up of a terrace, with standing room only. This is done so it can be turned into a stage for concerts. By all accounts, it's a great little stadium to watch football, although very few people have actually had the chance to visit. Bobcat Stadium, home to the Texas State Bobcats. This one is vaguely similar to Hancock Whitney Stadium, but with the end cut off. You may have noticed that the end is round. Well, that's because the field had an athletics track around it, which was only removed recently.
Okay,
in
you can
2012.
still see that.
which was the same time the north end zone seating was expanded. It also has a more grandiose exterior than South Alabama Stadium, especially the main facade, which looks quite nice. Although there's nothing mind-blowing about this place, it just seems like a nice, well-rounded stadium. Malone Stadium, home of the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. This one is quite unusual. As you can see, there is only seating on two sides of the field. Which in itself isn't too far out of the ordinary. But I'm not sure I've ever seen taller seating on a two-sided stadium before.
Wow, that is pretty tall.
It just keeps going up, but I like it. I'd probably prefer to sit all the way up there than at ground level behind the end zone. So
looks like it's kind of being...
As a player, it must be quite strange. You look ahead and there's just a few trees. You look to the side and there's like 70 rows of seating. Other than that, there isn't too much to say. The exterior on each side is very bare bones.
The Warhawks.
Kid Brewer Stadium. Hang on. I did hear that things were a little wild in the Appalachian Mountains, but they've got kids brewing.
Why do I know that?
Jeez Louise. Anyway, it's home to the Appalachian State Mountaineers. The running track was gotten rid of just last year after a major renovation that included some additional seats added to the north end zone. The stadium is nestled into the mountains, surrounded by trees.
Wait, is that
and
a
has
real
a lovely
picture?
view of Howard's Knob.
No. Wait,
No,
what?
the peak over there is called Howard's Knob. Whoever the editor is just so immature. Me. It does look better now, but it's not like that was an issue to begin with. For those that have a thing for repeating numbers, the field is 3,333 feet above sea level. A little over a kilometer in metric.
Okay.
This place is so serene.
Okay. So that's the second team called the
Veterans
Mountaineers.
Memorial Stadium, home of the Troy Trojans.
Troy
a very
Trojans,
appropriate
Alabama.
nickname.
30,000.
On the surface, it looks like just another typical stadium that's common in this conference. But when you take a look at the stadium after the recent expansion, well, it just sets it apart from the rest.
Yep.
Not only the grand brick facade, but also the elevated seating on the inside. Something else that sets it apart is how the road is basically on the concourse, which provides a pretty decent view of the game to passing motorists. I mean, just look at that.
What the?
Also, that fence looks extremely hoppable. I guess they must have security guarding it on match day because it seems like it'd be quite easy to sneak in.
Quite easy just to kind of...
And those were the Sun Belt college football stadiums. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Okay, so as you said at the start of this video, you know, it's not the biggest conference. They don't have the biggest stadiums. You know, some of them, I think they're all roughly about, you know, 25, 30,000 people, which if you saw my video for the NRL, our stadiums here in Australia, probably about on par with what we've got. So, you know, these stadiums all look pretty good to me, you know, so the passion is still there. You can tell that, you know, the way they obviously keep the field, the grass and everything. And obviously some of them are getting some work and renovations and everything done to them as well too. So Kid Brewer, I'm pretty sure I know that name from somewhere. Not his lame joke about obviously the kids. I think you distill moonshine. I don't think you brew moonshine. Obviously that lame joke, but I don't know where I know Kid Brewer from. Maybe I've heard it somewhere. I don't know, but that sounded very familiar to me. So that was a good video. So I've never heard of the Sun Belt. Obviously, there's a lot of conferences in the college football universe. We've done some of the bigger ones. Obviously, we're tapping into, you know, some of the smaller ones now too. So we've got a few more to go, I'm sure. So make sure you stick around for those. If you have one in particular we haven't done yet, let me know in the comment section. We are trying to work our way through, obviously, all of those as well too. So, and as I record this, it is only, 6 days until the season kicks off. I do have the platform ready for college football to go. I signed up. It's ready to go. I'm ready to watch my first college football game. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Very excited. Very excited. So, start of the week, we put out a hype film for college football. Really get you in the mood. Go and watch it. I'll put the link in the description here if you haven't already watched it. Definitely geared up for my to watch my first game. I can't wait to watch it. So guys, let me know what you thought of this video. Thank you very much for joining us today. Make sure you stay safe, and I will definitely see you in the next reaction video. Did you enjoy that video? Why not watch another one?